Move! The scream tore through the marble hallway as gunfire exploded. Hyun Min Park, feared CEO of Seoul's Underworld, watched his mother stumble as a masked gunman raised his rifle directly at her head. Then it happened. A dark-skinned maid ran out of nowhere. She didn't think. She didn't hesitate. She threw herself in front of the old woman. Bang! 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 4 shots slammed into her body. She didn't fall. She locked eyes with the terrified old woman and forced a faint smile. Stay! Behind me, she whispered. Then she collapsed. The entire mansion froze. Hyun Min's heart stopped. This wasn't loyalty. This wasn't bravery. This was madness. Who is she? Someone screamed. Hyun Min didn't answer. He was already running to her bleeding body. The black maid who took 4 bullets for his mother had just rewritten the rules of his world. And in that moment, without hesitation, without permission, without logic, Hyun Min grabbed her hand and growled, "From this second, you are my wife." Gunshots continued outside. Chaos exploded around them. But one truth had already been sealed in blood. This wasn't just sacrifice, this was fate. If this opening already shook your heart, subscribe right now, because this story has only begun, and it's about to get darker. Now let me tell you how she became a wife in blood. The mansion shook with gunfire. Guards shouted. Glass shattered. Men screamed. But Hyun Min only saw the bleeding woman on the floor. Her breathing was weak. Blood flooded the tiles. His mother shook uncontrollably, clutching his arm. She saved me. Hyun Min, don't let her die. Paramedics rushed in. One tried to move her. Hyun Min snapped. Touch her wrong and you die. Everyone froze. The paramedic swallowed. We need to get her to the hospital now. She has minutes. Hyun Min leaned close to the unconscious maid. Her pulse flickered. Her life was slipping. He didn't even know her name. But he knew this. In his world, nobody risked their life for free. Nobody jumped in front of bullets unless bound by something deeper than fear. And anyone who did deserved protection higher than any contract. He raised his voice so every guard, every enemy, every listening ear would hear. Listen carefully. This woman is not a maid anymore. The room went silent. From this moment, by my name, by the blood spilled in my house, she is my wife. Gasps exploded. His mother covered her mouth, stunned. Jun, his right-hand man, whispered in shock. Boss, you're declaring marriage without witness, without paperwork, without ceremony. Hyun Min cut him off coldly. My word is law. He ripped his ring from his finger and forced it onto her bloody hand. Anyone who touches her challenges me. The paramedics moved again. Hyun Min lifted her himself. She leaves this house as my wife. She returns as my queen, he ordered. They rushed toward the ambulance. Behind them, the gunfight intensified. But something more dangerous was already brewing. Because in the Korean underworld, Hyun Min Park had just broken every rule. He didn't just save a woman. He declared war on tradition, on his enemies, on his own organization. And somewhere in the shadows, someone watching whispered, this changes everything. All right, no repetition, no dragging, straight intensity, deeper stakes, stronger emotions. If you believe loyalty still exists, hit that subscribe button, because this brave woman deserves to be honored. This is where survival became a vow. The ambulance tore through Seoul's streets. Inside, alarms screamed. Blood soaked the stretcher. The maid's body trembled violently. 4 gunshots, one near the lung, another lodged near the spine. BP dropping fast, the doctor shouted. Hyun Min refused to sit. He held her hand. Don't die, he muttered. Not after what you did. The doctor stared at him. Sir, prepare yourself. She has a very small chance. Hyun Min's jaw tightened. There is no small chance with me. Keep her alive. The doors burst open at the hospital. Surgery lights, rushed footsteps, metal trays clanging, oxygen masks. They tried to push him back. He didn't move. Security hesitated. No one dared touch him. The chief surgeon stepped forward. If you want her to live, let us work. For the first time that night, Hyun Min stepped back. They wheeled her into the operating room. The doors slammed shut. Silence swallowed everything. His mother was escorted away for safety. Guards surrounded the building. The air smelled of blood and antiseptic. Jun approached carefully. "We found something," he said quietly. Hyun Min didn't turn. "Talk." "She's not just a maid." That got his attention. Jun handed him a file, her passport, her background. Name Amina Bello, Nigerian. Came to Seoul 10 months ago. Former nursing trainee. Legally employed as domestic staff. Then Jun added something heavier. She lost her family in gang violence back home. She wasn't supposed to be here. She took this job to send money to her kid's sister. Hyun Min's fist tightened. So she knew violence. She knew fear. Yet she still stood in front of a bullet. "Boss?" Jun hesitated. "Declaring her your wife. The elders will never accept a foreigner. The council will retaliate. And whoever attacked your house tonight, they won't stop." Hyun Min stared at the red emergency light above the surgery door. "I don't care who they are," he said quietly. "I will bury anyone who threatens her." Hours crawled. Doctors shouted inside. Machines beeped. Then went flat. Then returned. Then slowed again. She was fighting death like it insulted her. Finally, the doors opened. The surgeon removed his mask. "She survived the operation, but she's not safe yet. The next 72 hours decide everything." Relief hit Hyun Min like a punch. Then the doctor added something shocking. Before she blacked out during surgery, she woke up for 2 seconds. She didn't cry. She didn't panic. She whispered one thing. "What did she say?" Hyun Min asked. The doctor looked stunned. "She said, 'Protect his mother, even if I die.'" Hyun Min froze. This wasn't loyalty. This was devotion. This woman wasn't ordinary. And while she fought for life inside, someone else watched from the hospital roof, smirking into a phone. "The maid survived," the voice said. "But don't worry. Next time, we don't miss." Here we dive into the council's fury. By dawn, word had already spread. The Korean Mafia Council had convened in silence. Rare, deadly silence. Hyun Min's audacious move wasn't just shocking, it was insulting tradition. Marrying a foreigner, a maid, while she's bleeding in a hospital? Barked Chairman Han, the eldest of the council. His veins throbbed with fury. "She broke the rules. She broke the family's honor," added another, slamming his fist on the table. Papers scattered. Jun, standing behind Hyun Min, whispered, "Boss, the council wants her dead. They see her as a threat to their authority. They'll strike before she even recovers." Hyun Min's expression hardened. "She isn't just alive. She's mine. Anyone who touches her dies. Understand?" The council erupted. Old alliances shifted. Power trembled. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Amina stirred. Her eyes flickered open. The scent of blood and antiseptic burned. She saw Hyun Min pacing. "Did I save her?" he asked, voice low. She struggled to sit. Pain shot through her ribs. Her hand went to his mother, still in bed across the room. "She is safe," she whispered, voice barely audible. Hyun Min's gaze darkened. "You risked yourself for her, for me. Do you understand what that means in my world?" Amina's lips trembled. I couldn't let her die. Not on my watch. Not anyone's." Hyun Min studied her. Her eyes weren't afraid. They were cold, determined, unbreakable. A dangerous thought struck him. This woman was not a victim. She was a weapon. Outside, shadows moved. Men in black suits, silent, professional, waited for the signal. The council had spoken. Eliminate the foreign threat. Hyun Min knew the city streets, the alleys, the rules. But no plan existed for someone like Amina. Someone unpredictable, fearless, and already bloodbound to him. He clenched his fists. "Jun, prepare the safe house. Move her out in 30 minutes and arm every loyal hand in the city." Jun nodded. "Boss, there's more. Sergeant Kim, he's the one who orchestrated tonight's attack. He's been compromised." Hyun Min's eyes narrowed. "Then we start with him, and anyone else hiding behind their loyalty to tradition." Amina tried to sit straighter, wincing. "You're planning war for me?" Hyun Min's lips curled into a grim smile. No, not for you. With you. And by the time this is over, anyone who dared challenge you will know fear. The city outside pulsed with tension. And for Amina, still fragile, still in pain, the realization hit hard. In Seoul's underworld, she was no longer a maid. She was a queen, and everyone wanted her dead. Tonight, danger wrote its name in fire, and Amina answered. The safe house was a fortress. Cameras, armed guards, reinforced walls. Yet for Amina, it felt like a cage drenched in danger. Hyun Min didn't leave her side. Every step she took, he was there, watching, calculating, ready to strike. But danger didn't wait. At midnight, a single silenced shot cracked the air. The bullet shattered the window inches from her head. Glass rained down. Amina instinctively dove, dragging herself behind the sofa. Pain shot through her ribs. She gasped, eyes wide. Hyun Min's fury was instant. "Where are they?" he barked. Jun's voice came through the earpiece, calm but tense. 2 men at the perimeter. Professional, not amateurs. They expected minimal resistance. They won't leave alive. Amina, still pressed to the ground, whispered, "Boss, I can fight." Hyun Min knelt beside her. "You just survived 4 bullets. Sit, breathe. Surviving is different from fighting, one step at a time." Then the house exploded into chaos. Guards opened fire. Men crashed through the reinforced doors with suppressed weapons. Smoke grenades filled the halls. Amina's instincts kicked in. She rolled, grabbed a fallen guard's handgun, and fired instinctively. Bang! One attacker dropped. Bang! Another fell. Her aim was shaky, but deadly enough. Hyun Min's eyes flicked between her and the chaos. "You're fast and fearless, but you're also reckless." She gritted her teeth. "I won't die. Not for me, not for anyone. But I won't let them take you or your mother either." The last gunman tried to flank them. Hyun Min intercepted, swift as a shadow. One punch, one crack. The man was out cold. When the smoke cleared, silence fell over the safe house. Amina leaned against the wall, trembling, bloodied but alive. Hyun Min studied her. Something in him shifted. "You're not just surviving. You're changing the rules of my world." She looked up at him, exhausted but resolute. "Then teach me, or I'll keep learning the hard way." Hyun Min smirked almost approvingly. "Good, because after tonight, there's no turning back." Outside in the shadows, a phone clicked. A calm, measured voice said, "They survived, but next time, the maid dies first." Amina didn't know it yet, but tonight was only the beginning. If you've ever fought through pain, subscribe. This story is for survivors like you. This is the moment you realize the danger was never outside. The morning sun cut through the blinds of the safe house, but safety didn't follow. Jun entered, face pale. "Boss, we have a problem." Hyun Min didn't look up. "Tell me it's not another perimeter breach." Jun swallowed. "Worse. Sergeant Kim, he wasn't just compromised. He's inside the council's plan. He set the attack tonight, and..." He hesitated. "He's your mother's personal guard. He has access to everything, everywhere." Hyun Min's jaw clenched. "So the bullets tonight almost came from him?" Jun nodded. "He tried. If not for her, Amina, your mother would have died." Then Amina, sitting weakly on the sofa, tilted her head. "So he betrayed you? To kill her?" Hyun Min didn't answer. He studied her. "You see, in this world, betrayal doesn't announce itself. It walks beside you, smiles, and waits for the perfect moment to strike." Her eyes narrowed, pain and anger flickering. "We strike first." Hyun Min finally smiled, darkly approving. "You're learning fast. Good. But the council won't just send soldiers. They'll send snakes, allies who act loyal while plotting your fall. You need to see their true faces." Jun opened a tablet. Photos flickered. Kim meeting a council member in secret, exchanging briefcases. Plans scribbled in coded messages. Amina leaned in, her voice low, steady. "Then I'll uncover them. I'll expose the traitors, and I'll make them regret underestimating me." Hyun Min's eyes met hers. sharp and calculating. You're fragile and yet unstoppable. That's dangerous. For them. For you. A sudden alert rang on the security system. A car screeched outside. Hyun Min grabbed his gun. Jun, take the roof. Amina, stay inside, but watch every corner. And remember, anyone who steps inside this house without my say, dies. Minutes later, a black SUV pulled up. Two men in suits stepped out. Calm, confident, professional. Amina's pulse raced. Hyun Min's mother sat trembling, unaware. You ready? Hyun Min asked, glancing at Amina. She nodded. Pain in her ribs, bullets still inside her, but her resolve hardened. Let them come. The SUV doors opened slowly. Inside, two of the council's top enforcers stepped out, their eyes cold, calculating. Hyun Min's finger hovered on the trigger. Tonight, someone dies, he said quietly. Amina, gripping her own gun, whispered, and they'll wish it was me first. Outside, Seoul held its breath. Inside, a maid-turned-warrior was about to rewrite the rules of the Mafia forever. Tonight, the maid becomes a weapon. The two enforcers moved slowly, calculating. Every step echoed in the spacious living room. Hyun Min's gun never wavered. Amina crouched behind the reinforced sofa, heart pounding, but steady, every muscle ready. One of the men spoke first, smooth, arrogant. Hyun Min Park, you've broken tradition. You married a foreigner, a servant, in front of witnesses, in your own house. Shameful. Hyun Min didn't flinch. She's more loyal than anyone in this city, more valuable than tradition, and you are dead. The enforcer smiled coldly and nodded to his partner. That was the signal. Bullets ripped through the air. Glass shattered. Furniture splintered. Amina fired instinctively. Her first kill. The man's chest erupted in crimson. Hyun Min rolled, shooting the other enforcer in the shoulder, forcing him to drop his weapon. The air reeked of smoke and gunpowder. Amina, breathing hard, stared at her target. Blood on her hands. Realization hit. This is what it means to survive in his world. Hyun Min reloaded calmly, eyes cold. You adapted fast, but killing isn't enough. You need strategy. Every move, every breath counts. She swallowed, nodding. I understand, but what if they keep coming? They will, Hyun Min said, voice low and menacing. And next time, they'll bring more than two men. You'll need to be smarter, faster, and ruthless. Like me. The wounded enforcer groaned, crawling away. Amina kicked the gun from his hand, pressing the muzzle to his temple. Hyun Min's eyes narrowed. Do it. She hesitated only a second. The council's message was clear. Mercy is weakness. Bang! The enforcer's body slumped. Silence fell, thick and heavy. Amina's hands shook slightly. Her eyes met Hyun Min's. You're not just protecting me anymore. You're teaching me to survive, to dominate. Hyun Min stepped closer. And once you dominate, everyone who tried to harm us will regret underestimating you. Outside, sirens echoed faintly. The city continued, unaware that inside a safe house, a maid-turned-warrior had just changed the power balance of Seoul's underworld forever. Jun's voice came through the earpiece, tense. Boss, the council knows they'll retaliate. And soon. Bigger, deadlier, smarter. Hyun Min smiled darkly, glancing at Amina. Good, let them try. We're ready. Amina, wounded, exhausted but alive, realized something. She didn't just survive bullets. She didn't just survive the attack. She was now a weapon, and the city would fear her. The deepest cuts come from those who smile in your face. The safe house was quiet, too quiet. Hyun Min sat behind the desk, cleaning his gun with precision. Amina, still bruised and bandaged, watched the shadows through the window. Jun approached, uneasy. Boss, we have a bigger problem than the council. Hyun Min didn't look up. Talk. Jun's voice dropped. One of your inner circle, Lee Sang-ho, he's working with the council. He tipped them off about the attacks tonight. They know more than they should. Hyun Min froze. Then slowly his hands gripped the gun tighter. Lee Sang-ho, my most trusted man. Why? Jun shrugged, grim. Power, greed, fear, classic betrayal. He's setting us up for a full-scale hit tonight. Amina's eyes narrowed. So, the danger isn't just outside, it's inside. Hyun Min finally looked at her, eyes blazing. Yes, and that makes it far deadlier. You can trust no one but yourself. And me. The room went silent. Then a knock. Quiet, polite. Hyun Min raised his gun. State your name. A calm voice answered, dripping with deceit. Lee Sang-ho, sir. Come with news. Hyun Min's finger tightened on the trigger. Amina stood behind him, alert. This is the man who betrayed us? She whispered. Hyun Min didn't answer. Instead, he stepped aside, letting Lee enter. Every movement calculated. Lee's smile was false, smooth. Boss, I hear there was a misunderstanding last night. I came to make amends. Hyun Min's eyes narrowed. Amends? You tried to kill my mother. You tried to kill her protector. Amends don't exist in my world. Only consequences. Lee's false smile faltered. You can't possibly. Bang! Hyun Min fired a warning shot into the floor. Dust flew. Lee's knees buckled. Amina stepped forward, voice steady. Your betrayal ends here. Lee's eyes widened. You're just a maid. Hyun Min's lips curled. She's not just a maid. She's the reason you won't live past tonight. Lee tried to move, but Amina was faster. She grabbed his wrist, twisted it behind his back, and slammed him into the wall. You think bullets define power? She spat. Try surviving me. The betrayal wasn't just physical. It was personal. Amina had saved the people he loved. Now she delivered justice before anyone else could. Hyun Min stepped close to her. Good, but remember, there will always be snakes. Always. Your strength isn't enough. Strategy is survival. Amina nodded, pain flashing across her bruised face. Then teach me everything. I'll make sure no one betrays us again. Outside, the city moved, unaware. But inside, the power dynamics of Seoul's underworld had just shifted irreversibly, and a maid-turned-warrior had earned her place among kings and killers. The city sleeps, but tonight, war wakes. Night fell. The city glowed with neon lights, but danger pulsed in every shadow. Hyun Min's phone buzzed. A single message. You defy the council. Your safe house is compromised. Tonight, you and your bride die. Amina's eyes met his, steady despite the bruises, the pain, the blood. Then let's make them regret it, she said. Hyun Min smiled grimly. Good, we fight together, side by side. The council's forces struck like a storm. Black SUVs screeched, men in tactical gear swarmed the perimeter. Gunfire erupted. The safe house shook with explosions. Amina rolled behind a barricade, firing instinctively. Each shot precise, deadly. She moved with the rhythm of someone born for survival. Hyun Min advanced, covering her flank, every movement calculated. Together, they were a storm, unpredictable, lethal. One enforcer broke through the front gate. Amina met him mid-stare, throwing him over the railing with brute strength. Hyun Min took out two more in a single burst. Jun shouted from the roof, his voice tense. Boss, they're bringing reinforcements. Hundreds. They want blood. Hyun Min glanced at Amina. This is it. No more hiding. No more mercy. Amina's pulse surged. She caught sight of a sniper on a nearby building, aiming at Hyun Min's mother, who was barricaded inside. Without hesitation, she sprinted across open ground, dodging bullets, and leapt, shooting the sniper mid-air. He crashed to the street below. Hyun Min's eyes widened, impressed and furious. You're reckless. Amina, bloodied but alive, smirked. Reckless gets results. The council's commander finally appeared, a tall, imposing figure with a pistol raised. You think a maid can stop us? He sneered. Hyun Min stepped forward, gun trained, eyes icy. She's not a maid. She's my wife, and you are already dead. Amina fired. The bullet struck the commander's shoulder, making him stumble. Hyun Min lunged, finishing him before he could recover. The firefight raged for over an hour. By sunrise, the council's forces lay scattered. Streets were littered with debris, smoke curling into the cold morning sky. Amina collapsed against Hyun Min, exhausted, trembling, but alive. He lifted her chin, blood mixing with tears, bruises, and sweat. "You fought like a king tonight," he said softly. "Not a maid, not a servant, a queen." She smiled weakly, leaning against him. "And you trusted me with everything, even life itself." He brushed the blood from her face. "And you didn't fail, not once." Outside, Seoul awoke unaware of the war that had raged in its shadows. Inside, a new power couple ruled the underworld, bonded by blood, bullets, and unbreakable trust. But deep in the council's hidden chambers, a single voice hissed, "They survived, but next time we finish what we started." Amina squeezed Hyun Min's hand. "Then we'll be ready, together." She survived the storm and became the calm that commands it. The city was quiet for the first time in 72 hours. Smoke curled over shattered streets. Sirens faded into distant echoes. Inside the safe house, Hyun Min stood at the balcony, looking at the skyline. His mother sat nearby, wrapped in blankets, alive and shaken, but safe. Amina emerged from the shadows, leaning on Jun for support. Her bruised face and bloodied clothes told a story the world would never know. Hyun Min turned, eyes locking on hers. "You survived bullets. You survived betrayal. You survived my world." Amina's lips curled into a small, defiant smile. "And I survived because you trusted me, even when I had no right to that trust." He walked toward her, every step deliberate. "Do you know what you are now?" he asked softly. "I'm your wife," she replied, voice steady. "And you're equal." Hyun Min nodded. "No, you're more than that. You're a queen, one who fought, bled, and survived. Not because she followed orders, but because she wrote her own rules." She swallowed, emotion breaking through. "I didn't expect any of this. I came here to work, to survive, and somehow I became this." He lifted her chin, their faces inches apart. "This world doesn't forgive weakness, but it respects strength. And you have earned respect from everyone who ever doubted you." Outside, the council convened again, furious. Their enforcers scattered, leadership shattered. Their message was clear. The maid-turned-warrior couldn't be ignored. Inside, Hyun Min whispered, almost to himself, "They thought I married her for convenience, but they were wrong. Every bullet she took, every life she saved, tied her to me, bound us together, stronger than any contract, stronger than blood." Amina's hand found his. "And we survived, together." Hyun Min pulled her close. "Yes, and no one will ever challenge us again." The first rays of sunlight touched the city. Blood had been spilled, lives had been risked, empires had trembled. But in the aftermath, a new power was rising. Not born of wealth, not of fear alone, but of courage, loyalty, and unbreakable trust. Hyun Min kissed her forehead. "You took bullets for my mother, and I made you my wife. That choice saved more than life. It saved us all." Amina smiled through the pain, finally allowing herself to rest. "And I would do it again." Together, standing amid chaos and ruin, they looked over Seoul, a city that had just learned one truth: never underestimate a queen who once was a maid. And somewhere in the shadows, those who had survived the council whispered in fear, "Hyun Min Park and his wife are untouchable. No one survives them alive." If this story touched your heart, if Amina earned your respect, if you believe strength can come from the most unlikely places, subscribe right now. Join the family, because more powerful stories like this are coming.